Atlantic hurricanes and tropical storms can put Virginia's coast at risk for flooding. Near the coast, such flooding could be caused by storm surge. High winds from storms that push water toward the shore and up coastal rivers can produce storm surge. It can increase the normal high tide by 15 feet or more. Wind-driven waves on top of the storm surge can cause severe damage. Emergency officials order evacuations to keep residents safe from flooding caused by storm surge, not from the wind. Mobile homes and trailers are the exception. They're especially vulnerable to high winds. Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Chesapeake, Portsmouth, Suffolk, Hampton, Newport News, Poquoson, the Middle Peninsula, the Northern Neck, the Eastern Shore, and areas along the James River are all vulnerable to storm surge. If you live or work in these areas, go to www.readyvirginia.gov to find the latest storm surge maps. They will show you what areas could flood during a tropical storm or hurricane. If you live in an area that may flood, you should be prepared to leave immediately when officials issue an evacuation order for your community. If the storm surge map for your area shows your home is at risk for flooding, be aware that homeowners insurance policies do not cover flooding. Talk to your insurance agent about protecting your home and property. The National Flood Insurance Program offers plans for homeowners that will cover a home structure or a home structure and contents. Renters' policies are also available to cover a tenant's personal contents. Remember, it takes 30 days for a flood insurance policy to take effect. If you wait until a tropical storm or hurricane is forecast, it is too late to get flood coverage. If the storm surge map for your area shows you live in an area not at risk to coastal flooding, you may not need to evacuate unless you live in a mobile home or trailer, which is especially vulnerable to high winds. Remember, emergency officials will order an evacuation for areas that may flood. If an evacuation is ordered for your area, leave immediately. Always listen to local media for instructions for your area. Virginia has a hurricane evacuation plan to help people who must evacuate the area leave safely. The plan includes 7 designated evacuation routes, as well as the option for a lane reversal of Interstate 64 between Norfolk and Richmond. Here's how it works. If the governor orders a lane reversal, local media will notify residents living or working in Hampton Roads. As a storm approaches, always listen to local media for instructions for your area. Emergency personnel will start to close access to the eastbound lanes on I-64 before the reversal begins. Teams will manually lower hurricane gates installed along I-64 to ensure no eastbound traffic can enter the reversed lanes. These teams, made up of National Guard, State Police, and VDOT personnel, will remain in place until the reversal ends. State troopers will drive on the reversed lanes to make sure they are clear of all traffic. Then, after they have determined it's safe, the reversal will begin. As an added precaution, state trooper vehicles will lead the initial lane reversal traffic. Traffic can enter the reverse lanes in only one place, mile marker 273 on I-64, just east of the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel. All Southside traffic already on I-64 westbound lanes will cross over to the reversed lanes. Traffic entering I-64 from 4th View Street will continue on the regular westbound lanes. Motorists can enter and exit the regular westbound lanes as they normally would, though some entrance and exit ramps could be closed for traffic control. For safety reasons, traffic on the reversed lanes will be able to leave the interstate at only 2 exits, exit 234 in Williamsburg and exit 205 in Bottoms Bridge for gas, food, and lodging. Motorists exiting the reversed lanes cannot re-enter them, but they can re-enter I-64 using the normal westbound ramps. In addition, motorists can access the rest areas in New Kent County and a temporary comfort station on I-64 near Jefferson Avenue in Newport News for water and toilets. The I-64 reversal stops at the Interstate 295 interchange just east of Richmond. All motorists on the normally westbound lanes must take exit 200 and travel north or south on I-295. Motorists on the reverse lanes will cross over to the regular westbound lanes and continue west towards the I-95 interchange and points west. Emergency officials will end a lane reversal before tropical storm force winds reach the Virginia coast. This will give emergency personnel enough time to safely restore normal traffic flow and find shelter. A lane reversal will help residents evacuate, but I-64 is not the only evacuation route. These designated evacuation routes out of the Hampton Roads area include 460 West, 58 West, 10 West, 17 North, 60 West, 13 North, and Interstate 64. Residents living on the peninsula should use routes 17 North, 60 West, or I-64. Even if the governor orders a reversal of the eastbound lanes on I-64, peninsula motorists will be able to enter and exit the westbound lanes as they normally would. Eastern Shore residents should use Route 13 North. Residents living in Norfolk and Virginia Beach, north of I-264, should use I-64 West. If the governor orders a reversal of I-64, southside traffic in the westbound lanes of I-64 will cross over to the reversed eastbound lanes at exit 273. Residents living in Norfolk and Virginia Beach, south of I-264, should use I-64 and I-264 East toward routes 58, 460, 17, and 10. Residents living in Chesapeake, Portsmouth, and Suffolk should use I-64 and I-264 East toward routes 58, 460, 17, and 10. In the event of an evacuation, the plan is for bridges and tunnels to close after the evacuation is complete and sustained winds reach about 45 miles per hour. However, local weather conditions could dictate earlier closure of bridges and tunnels. Listen to local media for the latest evacuation and facility closure information. If you need to evacuate your area, leave early. The sooner you leave, the sooner you'll get to your destination and out of harm's way. You'll also spend less time in traffic. Stay local. If possible, stay with nearby family or friends on higher ground. Make a plan for your pet as well. Your last option should be a public shelter outside the area. Public shelters provide basic necessities such as food, water, and a small amount of space for your family to stay. Take bedding and your emergency supply kit with you. Decide now which route you will take, and remember that leaving early is key. You will ensure that your family is out of harm's way and avoid potential traffic delays. Have emergency supplies packed and ready to go. Learn your designated evacuation routes and know your destination before you leave. Know your risk. Be prepared before the storm hits. Go to readyvirginia.gov to find storm surge maps and more information about hurricane preparedness in Virginia.